Things are always changing, so there's probably some things that we're thinking about today that in 2 years may not be applicable. But we're paying attention to not just the pay-per-click, SEM, SEO that is today, but paying attention to where the trends are going. Google changes its algorithms all the time. So we're constantly, along with the Director of Web Services, paying attention to how we're performing, how our websites are performing, how our brokers' websites are performing, what needs to be modified, changed, incorporation of video, incorporation of other technologies to capture and to engage people, not just have calls to action, but to make sure we have calls to conversation. So that's changing all the time. We're paying attention to what's coming up, not just 3D, certainly AI we're paying attention to. How will that be incorporated? How will one-step or one-click transactions come into play? All of that stuff. Most websites that are trying to sell you a product or a service, you land there and they want to capture your email address typically because they want to market to you. And so we know that's happening. And if we want that 10% discount, we'll put our email address, hoping that they'll communicate with us. That's a call to action. A call to conversation is where we take that idea of ultimate client relationship and an online strategy, and let's say we post an article about real estate or finance or where new technology is going or homes, smart homes. And we ask questions that will engage people to talk back, to give us their thoughts. There's a lot of psychology that would suggest that when you, even as an expert, ask for other people's opinions, their trust in you skyrockets. So rather than being the expert and telling everyone you're expert, you can be an expert by asking questions and being curious about the opinions of others. And what that does is honest, it has integrity, and it engages people. That's what we want. It's not a numbers game only, it's an engagement game. We've lived in this world where salespeople have their website and they love how their website looks and it's beautiful and it does whiz-bang and all this stuff. But that's not necessarily where people live. People don't type in our URL and go to our websites. They live in the social platforms. Or they meet us at an open house. And by being curious and creating questions that will help them believe that we actually care for them and that we actually want to know what's going on in their lives, that changes the way that they interact with us. Facebook is a powerful medium. But Facebook only really works if you're actually engaging. If you're just surfing and never talking with anyone, and you're not engaging with the people you care about, it's not going to serve you those people. Facebook's really smart. So what people should do on Facebook is not talk about themselves, but engage with people they care about and ask about them, what's going on with them. LinkedIn is the same thing. LinkedIn is a powerful tool. So all of these platforms, unfortunately for salespeople, they've thought of as a megaphone and just telling the world how great they are. The reality is, it's a megaphone in inverse. I want to listen to what these people care about. I want to understand them better because it's the best database available on the planet. I entered real estate because I didn't want to move again. I had no plan B except to succeed. I was really blessed to have great coaches and mentors and trainers, and I was naive enough to think that's what I'll do. And I was lucky enough that I worked really hard and had good relationships and was able to transact and did really well. My heart wasn't in it to just make money. My heart was really to lead and to be a contribution to our company. So in management, I was able to serve in a variety of offices to develop best practices to help recruit and retain brokers, and then as an assistant manager. I went back to sales for a little while and then came back and I worked with Howard Chung as a manager in the broker excellence department and really tried to take our best practices and the marketing that was available and help brokers really develop their business. John Scott no longer was just branding itself, but was coming alongside brokers to help them brand themselves and to communicate their value to the consumers. Then when Ultimate Client Relationship was a sparkle in Lennox's eye and then someone else had it, I asked for that because I thought that this was the heartbeat of our company. That what we were was different because we really wanted to be more than just a transactional relationship with people. And so I was lucky enough that Lennox said, yes, go ahead and take that directorship. With that, we connected the dots, creating Labs, which is unique to any real estate company in North America, really connecting the dots of tools, technologies, and tactics, making it tangible in real-time learning and practical so that people would see results, just like they did in labs in school. And we've taken that to be a full-fledged, company-wide not just philosophy, but practical approach to using our tools and our tactics that give people the opportunity to really engage with those that they're in relationship with, and to develop relationships with those that they're new with. And then lucky enough that I was in relationship with our leaders, that they saw the value in being elevated to an executive position, and to come along and take ultimate client relationship, what has been a proven approach, and to take some of the digital components of what we have as a company and marry them to see what the future is for our company, and to really, our approach to success is taking these two ideas, putting them together, and building a business for each individual broker. Constantly doing our due diligence on what's coming, and actually even what's in the marketplace. There's a lot of technologies that companies have in place, and yet the strategy on how to leverage that technology isn't clear. So we're looking at several things. Scaling on Boost as an example, so scaling on SEM that brokers could do quickly, response times with different ways to communicate online, chats and all that stuff, which a lot of different companies are doing, but we're really trying to make sure that we execute on it correctly. One of the big ones is not just automated valuation models, but even more importantly, the predictive analytics that comes with that. So for a listing agent, knowing what the marketplace is doing in terms of competition, you can see a snapshot today or back however long you choose to go. But for buyers, the data exists. We've just not incorporated that into our buyer's presentation or in our listing presentation for the buyers that are available for their homes. So we're investigating that. We want to make sure that we execute on that in a clear, precise way that benefits our brokers and our clients, that we can have a clear direction and not just have bells and whistles for the sake of bells and whistles. But before any of that, doing the today work right now with each individual client that we already know is more than enough work to get done every day.